Good morning, everyone. Look, if you know me, you know I love my coffee. Not just a coffee cover, a coffee lover. It's early, all right? I haven't had my coffee yet, so relax. But not just any coffee lover. I'm your classic coffee snob. So when I decided to move into a van and do van life, the first thing on the list was to work out the best way to make a killer latte on the road. If you go to Australia, you'll realise that the quality of coffee down under is incredibly high, and so it's just something I've grown up with. It's something that's in my genes. It's not my fault. And I think travelling, and when you're on the road, one of the most important things is to have a good cup of coffee. You don't settle just because you live in a van, just because you're off grid, just because you have a crummy dual battery setup and a little 100-watt solar panel and a 1200-watt inverter. Doesn't mean you can't make a good cup of coffee. Hopefully this morning it's charged enough from the solar panel to operate what I've found is the lowest wattage espresso and milk froth combination I think you can find on the entire internet. I literally spent weeks. I did have a really kick-ass coffee machine back at the old place in Malibu. But yeah, that machine was far too big, so I couldn't bring it on the road. So this is what we've got. I'll show you now and I'll do a little unboxing because I haven't even unboxed them yet. They're brand new. Hopefully, these two products that I've got, yes, I do have two products. I have split the system, one for milk, one for espresso, and hopefully between the two of them I can make a killer cup, or at least something that'll tie me over on the road. So I'll show you what I got. Alright, we'll talk about the milk frother first. Now you can get an espresso branded milk frothers. They're exactly the same. I looked at all the specs online and this one is identical. It is the Miraco brand. So yes, it was slightly cheaper. Of course, I was looking for something that wasn't going to break the budget, but just did exactly what I wanted. So this also I thought looked slightly cooler than espresso. Don't know why, just thought it did. So it was cheaper, same wattage, same result, and that's it. That's the little Miraco milk frother. So now you've got this little whisk, little doowacky here. I have used an espresso milk heater before, so that's why I knew I was going to try and make that work for the van, because they are good. They actually are good, and this one is very low watts. Look at that, 400 watts. That's pretty low. I'm excited to test that with the 1200-watt inverter. It shouldn't have like a surge power like an espresso machine. It should just roll at 400. Don't know if that's 100% right, but here's hoping. And then of course you've got the warming or the electrical plate, the connectivity plate, whatever you want to call it. That sits on top of the mount. Plug goes down to the electrical socket. Thus ends the tour and introduction of the Miraco milk heater. How exciting. It's going to be more exciting if it actually works. Alright, so this is the Conqueco, and I love the tagline. Conquer life begins with coffee. Very, very inspiring. So this is a little portable espresso maker, and the thing I loved about this was that A, it was such low voltage, which is highly important, but B, it's rechargeable. So it has a lithium battery inside, and you can actually, charge it and then take it in your backpack if you're going hiking or whatever. So obviously being rechargeable, it's a standalone unit, and therefore doesn't suck any of the battery power, or doesn't have that surge power that most espresso machines that I was looking at, some of them said they were 900 watts. I think the best one I found was 900 or 950, and the surge wattage went up to like 1200. So anyway, let's whip this thing open and see how it goes. you go. I mean, it's a good looking little thing. Not too shabby, is it? I think that looks pretty cute. This is the battery compartment here, 12 volt inlet for power. You unlock this, and because I did watch some tutorials online before I got this, as I said, I did a massive amount of research on these things. And that's your battery pack in there that you can pull out and charge separately, or you can charge through that input there. Let's put that back on, because we don't really need to deal with that right now. Now, this is the hard part. I'm not going to be able to do this with one hand, so I'll have to put you down somewhere. But basically, from my understanding, you put the water in there. It travels through the little heating elements and stuff, and then your pod is down here, and the extracted espresso shot gets put into this little compartment down the bottom. So it's a fairly simple process. You can actually put cold water in this, which is what I'm going to do, because I don't have boiling water, and I don't really see the efficiency of setting up my gas stove, boiling a kettle of water, and then putting hot water in it so I can save a little bit of battery power. I got this literally as an all-in-one device, so I want it to be an all-in-one device, and that's what I'm going to test. But yeah, then your espresso comes in. Now, the cool thing about this is it does use the Nespresso pods. We all know Nespresso pods are the best pods. From all the pod machines I've used, that's my opinion. I suppose we don't all know that, because some people might have a different thing. But I like strong coffee, so these are the strongest Nespresso pods, and I'm eager to see what kind of espresso shot this little bad boy makes. So together, that's obviously not taking up any wattage. That's not taking up any wattage in my van, and this is only 400 watts. So together, a combined use of 400 watts to make a coffee, and hopefully it'll be a good espresso with good milk. Let's see how we go. This can take hot water and cold water. So the cold water you put in, you push that for 2 seconds. Hot water, you push it for 5, and it just skips the boiling stage and goes straight to the extraction. So this is what you do first. You undo that guy, and then you undo this guy, right? Now that's the pod chamber. So we should have had a pod ready before this. Okay, so now the pod goes in this end, right? And then this guy goes back on. And that, okay, so it clicks. That's how you know it's closed. Oh, you can already smell it. And then that's where your coffee is extracted to. Boom. Now, this is where the water goes. So I've got a little bit of water, and there is a fill line. There's a max fill line on this, and it's not a lot of water. Apparently that takes 10 minutes to heat up. So, let's see what happens here. Put this guy back on. Make sure. Oh, yep. Okay, that clicks again. So, there you go. And then we hold this for 2 seconds. 1, 2. It beeped, which is what it did say it would do in the instruction manual. So I assume that is now heating the water. Then it says in 10 minutes you'll hear the pump activate, and that's when the espresso shot. So you kind of just set that up and then walk away. Find something else to do for 10 minutes. Like this guy. Oh, that's super frothy. Sort of medium froth. I assume that's just hot. Zero froth. So I'm going to go test out the second stage, which is... Oh, I blew that, didn't I? So that one there. Okay. That's cool. That's frothing away. Assume that's heating. But that's kind of it. That's the setup right now. That's brewing espresso. That's warming my milk. So I'll leave that in there hot, and I'll show you the end result. Alright, so I walked away for a second to do something else and then heard it beep twice, and then the motor engaged and I can smell coffee, so certainly would assume that the process is finished and we should have a shot of coffee. Right, let's see what we've got here. Oh yes, it's hot. Oh shit, that looks pretty good. Let's bring this down here. See that? That looks pretty good. Now I obviously have to get the timing right because the milk's now gone kind of cold. That looks pretty dark. That's not too bad. Wow. I mean, it doesn't smell burnt. It doesn't smell burnt or anything. It smells bloody good. Just done a quick comparison. I've boiled water in about a quarter of the time that it's taken to heat the water in the top of that element to make the extraction. So I think in future it probably is better just to crank out the gas stove, do this in a matter of minutes, and then get direct extraction from that. So then I can do like 2 or 3 pods depending on how strong I want the coffee. Or if I've got friends, which I do, who's waiting for a coffee, I can just do it instantly. Now it says to hold this down for 5 seconds as opposed to 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. Second beep. And here we go. I mean, look, I think there's some settings that need to be played with, but for now, it's pretty bloody good. Time to start the day.